I want to give you a surefire way to making more money as a delivery driver without risk of deactivation. DoorDash is a good way to make money. Uber Eats is a good way to make money, but DoorDash and Uber Eats together is a great way to increase your income, lower the amount of mileage you have on your car, lower your gas expense, everything you want as a delivery driver. Have you ever been in a situation where your preferred app or your only app is just giving you terrible order after terrible order? Many drivers have found a solution to this problem through the use of multi-apping. I need to give you a practical example of what this looks like. You just start your shift. You're excited to make money. You go out to your car, you drive to the hotspot, you have both apps activated, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Maybe you have DoorDash and Grubhub. Maybe you have Uber Eats and Grubhub. Whatever that is, you have two apps. This is considered multi-apping, where you're trying to find the best order possible on multiple apps. Your main goal in this job should be to maximize your time when you're on the road. You could make it as simple as trying to make the most dollars per hour that you need to on the road. You know, other people have different strategies, but I think this one works out well for many people. Just try to make the most dollars per hour. Well, how are you going to do that? You're going to have DoorDash and Uber Eats running in this example, and you're trying to find the best order possible. So you're sitting in your car, you have DoorDash activated, you started your dash, you have Uber Eats, you already hit the go button, you're ready to go, and the orders will start to flood in. Usually they will start you off with some bad orders to start out just because many drivers have already rejected those. You are going to try to find the best order possible, and this might mean rejecting orders from DoorDash and rejecting orders from Uber Eats because you want to find the best order that you can. If you have only been running one app, you may have found that a $6 order going 3 miles is going to be a pretty good order in your area. It's going to be profitable, it's going to keep you moving. That's the kind of order that you want to accept. However, with multi-apping, since you are getting a higher quantity of orders, the orders that you accept, the quality is going to increase. Because if you are going to have about double the orders coming in, since you're running two apps instead of one, that means that you are going to be able to accept the higher tier orders. So an order that may have been worth it, let's say the $6 order for 3 miles, maybe it doesn't become worth it anymore, and you are looking for orders that maybe $7 for 2 miles. As a delivery driver, I have totally found this to be true, that the quality of my orders has increased because all of these apps are competing for my attention. They want me to accept something, but I will only do the highest quality orders. And this has led to increased dollars per hour on the road. Let's say you accepted that order in the example. Let's say maybe it's $8 for 2 miles. You're pretty excited about it. You're ready to get this done. But as just the basics of multi-apping goes, you are going to want to pause that other app. There is no point to letting the other app run to try to find you an order when you currently have a good one ready to go. You're driving off to the restaurant. There's no reason to be running the other app, especially as a beginner. You know, as you get more advanced, you may want to keep that app running, but just for right now, as you're a beginner, you're just trying to figure things out for the first time multi-apping, just don't worry about it. Just pause that other app. You don't need to worry about it. Don't need extra stress of trying to decline all the extra orders that come through. Just pause your app. If it's DoorDash, you can pause it. If you're on Uber Eats, you can just simply stop new requests and everything will be fine. Just complete that order. Go to the restaurant, pick it up, go to the customer, and drop it off. After you completed the order that you accepted, it is now time to unpause yourself from that other app that you just paused. It is now time to start receiving orders on both platforms again. So let's say you have DoorDash and Uber Eats. Let's just keep them running, and now you can accept the highest quality order that you can at this time. Everything that happened in the past, it doesn't matter anymore. Just find the best order that you can without waiting too long in between orders. I cannot stress this enough. If you are just a beginner, do not accept 2 orders on different platforms at the same time. This might lead to deactivation if you are not smart about this. Speaking of deactivation, the strategy that I just laid out to you virtually has no risk. At any point in time, it is perfectly fine to be pausing your dash or stopping your driving on Uber Eats. It is perfectly fine that you do this. I cannot think of one reason why these food delivery apps would not be okay with you pausing your shift. It just wouldn't make sense for them to punish you for doing that. And so you will not be deactivated for using this strategy. A lot of people, especially newer drivers, they comment on my videos because they're worried about possibly getting deactivated from one or all of these platforms for doing something like this. But it is perfectly fine that you do this. You do not have to worry at all as long as you're being as smart as you can with this. Make sure you are pausing yourself so that you're not tempted to take 2 orders at the same time. A question that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering right now is, how much can you make multi-apping? Well, I have a ton of videos on this channel and I multi-app in pretty much all of them, and I explain my earnings at the end of each video and sometimes throughout the video. So if you want, you can check out any of those ones. I personally cannot tell you exactly how much money I make multi-apping, but I can tell you that I make a lot more multi-apping than if I were to just run one app at a time. Let's take DoorDash as an example. If I was only driving for DoorDash, the most common order that I would typically accept is around $6.50 for maybe about anywhere from 2 to 4 miles. Now, if I was able to complete 3 DoorDash deliveries in this time frame, that would just leave me with around $19.50. This would be on a per hour basis, so $19.50 per hour. That is revenue, that's not profit, but $19.50, that's pretty decent. But often you can get into situations where you cannot find that $6.50 offer 3 times in 1 hour, and especially hour after hour. You may have to accept $5 orders. You may have to accept maybe even less than $5 orders if you're only running DoorDash, because you don't want to just be sitting in the parking lot just waiting and waiting and waiting for a good order. You're going to want to keep moving if that's your only app, and that totally makes sense to maybe accept like a $5 order going 2 miles if that's the only thing that's coming to your phone. However, if you have the ability to also run Uber Eats or also run Grubhub, whatever that second app is for you, you may be able to find a much higher quality order that's either paying more or delivering a shorter distance, and you're going to want to take advantage of that. Soon your earnings can be higher than $20 an hour in revenue if you just find that one order per hour that's going to pay you a little bit more or take you a little bit less time to complete. If you are brand new to delivery driving, then I don't think you need to be worrying about this strategy too much. Just focus on one app that is so crucial. You have to get to know the delivery driver ecosystem. Just try out one app to start out. You could also apply for other apps in the meantime. If you are only activated on one, just try out one, see how it goes, see if you even like being a delivery driver, and then you can try out multi-apping in the future if this is really something that you want to do in at least the short-term future. Your earnings may be lower if you're just running one app as a beginner, but don't worry about that. You really just gotta make sure you understand the process, and then maybe in a few weeks you can add on another app and then try that one out for just a little bit. So make sure you understand both apps, and then you can go out there and multi-app and start to increase your earnings. If you are really interested in learning more about multi-apping, I have another video right here that you probably want to click on so that you can increase your earnings while also lowering your gas expense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.